Shall we move on to the next topic?
We will, because it's a very topical topic.
So it's a rabbit hole topic.
So, topic number 2.
Is it mine?
Green.
Okay, right. So keeping up with the theme of the NFL, as we're from England, a lot of people don't really have allegiances to specific states. They don't pick a team because they were born there. So a lot of people have different origin stories as to why they pick that team. I want to know everyone's origin story. So why do you support the Eagles? Why do you support the Bears, Patriots, etc.?
Who's go first?
Oh. I want Pal to go first, because I'm interested in
I think Pal should go first because he hasn't got a jersey.
Matt can go
And
last.
no one knows.
I'm sorry, who do you support?
No one knows yet, yeah.
So I'm a Bears fan.
That's me.
Next.
That is me, but probably quite deserved, to be honest.
I'm green, you son of a bitch.
So I think 2005, Bears got to the playoffs with an 11 and 4.
Was this
5 record, I think it could have
Is
been.
this Rex Grossman at this point?
I think this is still Louis Smith.
Oh, no, the quarterback.
Could be. To be fair, this is where I wasn't supporting them.
Oh, right,
But-
okay, my bad.
That year and then the year after, they got to the Super Bowl and lost to New Orleans Saints.
Indianapolis Colts.
Indianapolis Colts.
Because that was paid. And a quarterback threw their toys out the pram one about
So at that point, the Bears looked like a pretty decent team. They were in 2 playoffs and the championship.
Brian
all sorts.
Urlacher was still with you.
Brian Urlacher was a beast. And I happened to visit Chicago the year after, so 2007. I visited Chicago with my family.
Was it cold?
It was very cold. I went during November.
Oh, God.
So it was
really
snowy,
fucking cold.
it was windy, and it was everything Chicago should be.
It shouldn't specifically be windy, but carry on. I know
It is, because it's the winter
Yeah.
city.
it's
what it
politically
is.
windy, not physically windy. It's to do with their politics. It's a state that goes either way. Carry on.
Well, it was. It was physically windy.
God, James, you have to ruin everything.
If you want a super awesome fact about Chicago, in their tall buildings, spiders live in the windows, and they're like...
Never want to go to Chicago.
But I visited
don't work.
Chicago, and I even went on a tour of Soldier Field. Touristy
Badass.
things to do.
Badass.
And from that point on, I just kind of went, oh, I'm a Chicago Bears fan now. Like, I've been to the state, I've been to the stadium. They seem like a decent team.
Probably the best reason.
And then you watched them play.
And then ever since then, I think they've made 1 playoffs and have just been dicked on by the Packers. So,
And everybody else. in the
Over and
NFL.
over
not
again.
just everybody else.
Everyone
No, they've got an easy division except for the Packers.
That is
and-
arguably correct.
Well,
because Lions-
Vikings are a playoff team. Just lately they are.
Lately, yeah. The last couple of years, no.
But it seems I picked the wrong time to start supporting them. Story
Yeah,
of my
because
life.
they've got a good history, the Bears have.
Yeah, they have.
real good history.
Great history, and
Great deal.
obviously,
time.
Brian Urlacher was still part of the roster when I started watching
Yeah,
him.
he was
fell in
never
love with
replaced.
him. We've had some great players since then, some great wide receivers.
hair?
Yeah, he doesn't look right, does he?
Doesn't look scary anymore.
No.
You've had some great receivers, actually.
Yeah,
You've
great-
had some really,
great
really good
receivers.
receivers.
Ali got so
We just
upset when
haven't-
P. Marsh left.
Marshall left.
Brandon
I
Marsh.
wasn't as upset because I know that Alshon Jeffrey is everything but more than Brandon Marshall.
Ali does
And
like him.
hopefully we've got another decent one now with I think it's
White.
yeah.
Yeah, he got injured this year.
Got
though,
injured with his Teddy's ACL.
Yeah.
Was it ACL?
I think so, one of them.
That's surgery.
So he was out like the
One of the
first- from
CLs. There's all
first
of
week.
them.
So many centimetres.
Yeah, we've had great receivers and a pretty average quarterback.
See, I'll jump in now and we'll just go clockwise because YOLO, let's live life on the edge.
You only live once, so you better think twice.
So, I support Seattle.
Oh, when did you start supporting
2013.
After the Super Bowl. That's why I don't like Denver. No, I grew up playing basketball. I played a bit of American football over the field. We just threw a ball around. And I'd watched American football, but I didn't have a clue what the rules were. I didn't understand it. I learnt the rules from playing NFL Street, if anyone ever played it.
Play number 2, it's a great game.
Yeah.
Wall runs.
Yeah, absolutely
Catch the
brilliant.
legs is
And that was
awesome.
my grasp of the sport. And I'd watch the Super Bowls, I'd watch games every now and again. And it wasn't until 2010 that I started watching it more seriously. I was at university, which was Hasselback's last season. But at this point, I hadn't picked a team. So I just watched whatever was on. I watched the Super Bowls. I'd put it on because I'm a student. You're awake 24 hours a day, and you sleep back inverted. So I'd just put a stream on and I'd watch it that way. 2011, I started watching it more seriously, and my brothers and sisters, they started getting into it. And we all said, well, we need to pick teams. And what my decision came down to was we went through. I went through a list of all the NFL teams. I think this happened late 2011, coming into the 2012 season, and they just announced the new jerseys. So everyone was on the Flynn bandwagon because obviously Flynn had the game in playoffs where he probably had the game of his career. He almost put 500 yards onto the Lions. Seattle drafted him, and I went through and I saw the jersey and I went, I love that jersey. What team is it? And I saw Seattle Seahawks. Now, I saw that and I just went, sold. Because when I was about 10, 11 years old, obviously I started doing role play with my friends, board games. We played Dungeons & Dragons, World of Darkness, things like this. And in Dungeons & Dragons, we had a certain campaign. It was ongoing for years.
Topic number 3.
It was brilliant. And we created a group of pirates and we were called the Seahawks. And my character, I was Dimitri Badger. I was the ship's navigator. My friend Bobby's Caleb Block and Caleb Frost even. And this was
I'm losing my shit. I love D&D, but I'm losing my shit.
And this was ongoing. And we did lot up events where we were the Seahawks and like 10 years on, and we suddenly see this and I see Seahawks and I went sold. And then that year was when Wilson got drafted. And then we finished, obviously, with a winning record and we lost to Falcons.
Ironic.
And then the year after, I've still got a Flynn jersey. Like, I even saw the players and I looked at them all and I was like, well, I'll get a Flynn jersey. He's quarterback. And I got the Flynn jersey and then didn't have to wear it once that season. And then I really like watching them play. And that's the one thing I love about Seattle. Aside from, obviously, you do get a lot of bandwagoners because they came out and had that glorious season when they won the Super Bowl. But to me, they are an incredibly exciting team to play. And I think my second team, I'd say, is I like watching Jags because they also have that element of excitement. Yes, they lose most of the time, but when they win, it's a special game. And that's what I like. They played their heart out.
They've had a good season, though.
Yeah.
They've had a really good season.
Well, yeah, that's my origin story.
Coach.
Yeah.
I like the enthusiasm they've got.
I love Gus. Yeah. Like if Gus goes, I'm going. Like
it's like he's not even like nearly as old as Audrey Hepburn, but like it's like he's smoked 100 times more than her. Like, yeah, let's go, guys.
I suppose I should tell my story before you keep shouting.
I was done. It's fine.
We'll go back to my first experience of American football, I guess, which would have been Madden 2005, maybe. So from the 2004 season, I think that's how they work it out. Whereas I was going around to my dad's house. My dad and my mum had not long separated, so we got like a flat, and I hadn't really seen him much. And I went into game and I was just thinking, we've got games in common. I'll probably just try and pick up a few games. And I ended up with 2 real good ones. I got Zone of the Enders, which is a great game, like robots, Japan anime, all that stuff. And Madden 2005. And I didn't know, I seem to remember my dad watching Super Bowls. Had a feeling he might have been a Raiders fan or something like that. And I had these things in my head and I was like, it's not expensive. I'll just get it. It's fine.
All people are Raiders fans.
I've heard.
Or Dolphins.
In the UK.
Yeah.
Or Dolphins.
or Redskins. Every now and again, like particularly old Redskins.
Yeah, it's like one in 7, something like that.
Yeah.
The rest of them are either in the split 3 and 3.
And my dad is that 1 in 7. And he comes out like the biggest motherfucking fanboy in the world. He's got Redskins pants on.
But I went round to my dad's house and he sort of understood the rules. And so we plugged it in. I'm pretty sure we played from about 7 p.m. until about 2 in the morning with me constantly screaming, why has the game stopped? There's 2 minutes left. Just couldn't understand. I was trying to do a play. I'm like, why? I haven't taken a time out. This doesn't happen at any other time in the game. It doesn't, to be fair. And then I remember going into practice mode from, said 1 o'clock in the morning to about 7 with the Eagles because I'd randomly picked them. And that era was McNabb, Terrell Owens, Brian Westbrook, this guy, Dawkins.
B-Dawk.
And that was all I did because I didn't understand the rules was make Terrell Owens go that way and then wait a few seconds and throw the ball. I was like, this game is so easy. This American football, like, just give it to him all the time. It was probably a fair few years after that where I actually decided that was my team that I was going to support. Because I really overthought the team that I wanted to support. So actually the first time I followed was the Seahawks a little bit, when it was Sean Alexander and Hasselbeck. Yeah. I pronounce his name. And I really enjoyed them. In fact, I think that was Madden 06 when he was on the cover, and I think that's why I started playing as him a bit more, because they introduced the truck stick or the highlight stick or something like that, and it was him that made me like Seattle. But I think it was it the Eagles Super Bowl at some point when they lost, but I really just enjoyed the way that they played, actually.
They haven't got one where they've won.
Before it's called the Super Bowl, we've got a ring. We've got one.
A participation
Somewhere.
medal.
We have got one.
We're old ass team.
We're old ass team. Damn right. I just like the way they played, and this guy was the game changer for me, because I've always been about defence and just seeing the way that Brian Dawkins played. And I watched him one time, and when he comes out and he pretends to be Wolverine and stuff, and I was like, I need to know about this guy. And I go on YouTube and I'm just Googling him and watching his hits and watching like when he talks to the reporters, and he's like a proper God-fearing man that will not swear, and he's the nicest guy, and how he just switches it on as soon as he steps on the grass. Unbelievable guy. And it's him, and he's the full reason that I support the Eagles. 100%. And he's the reason why I wanted to play safety, and my body should not play safety. And like, I had to do it. And, that was my first position 12 years ago, 11 and a half years ago, something like that.
Fucking hell.
Among other positions, because we had 11 players, so we never left the field.
Fun times.
God, yeah. H receiver, free safety, and then on any kicking play on the side. Yeah, that's me.
Cool. Allow me to take you back on a magical mystery tour.
I hope we do put graphics on the
Yeah, like a
podcast one day.
wishy-washy.
Last week's Viva Pinata one, he put it on.
I don't think
The
I've seen
cute
it.
little pink thing that
It's on there.
Yeah.
He's got it on it.
Is
It
it?
pops in from the background and
Which
just pops
topic
away.
is it?
Yeah, the
Emotional attachments.
Yeah.
Part 3.
Okay.
Episode 7, part 3. He does a
I
graphic.
watched the conspiracy. Well, I listened to the conspiracy theories on it.
I'm glad you're invested in the thing that we're doing. No, I genuinely am.
No, I literally wanted to put it on, like, to listen to make sure, like, because it's different watching it and just listening to it. Isn't it?
100% is. And it does work.
We don't get the sexual attachment with biscuits either.
No. I watched that bit though. It's
it
right at the
was
start.
magical.
I only watch that bit.
Then turn it off.
If for whatever reason you're listening to this podcast audio only, and in some time in the future, 2022, something like that, maybe. Yeah. I apologise for every episode before this where we did lots of physical jokes. And there is no video. YouTube has disintegrated, and only iTunes exists now. And other
Then I'll be like,
services.
why does he keep saying Downtown Abbey in this weird accent?
Fucking wankers.
He's what's the word? Gesticulating, masturbation towards his face when he does that. Multiple.
Multiple masturbation.
Again, yeah, for the audio people, I really hope you stuck with us to episode 8. Finally get the punchline.
But
It's
yeah,
not funny when I say it out
I'm
loud.
taking you back all the way to October 1994, which is my first
Do you
introduction.
want to tell me what you were doing then, Matt?
I was
Being produced.
What day in October?
This
I
matters.
don't know what date. It was around Halloween, so it's towards the end.
Towards the end. So I was about.
You were basically getting fucked
what-
into the womb.
Absolutely savage. Wrecked.
Matt.
I was 1 and a month.
Oh, okay.
So I really hope he wasn't not getting fucked into it.
Shall we put the aircon on? Because there is no chill left. There is no chill.
Oh my god.
Continue.
The podcast is
Robbie
over,
Savage
guys.
in the corner.
Thanks for joining us.
I didn't think that was that bad. How old's your younger brother?
What, do you want to make a... trying to figure out when that was happening?
Yeah.
Is that what this is?
Or your sister?
No, she's 5 years younger than me.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
What a beautiful day that was. Taking you back to 1994 anyway. October 1994. And we were on a...
You were only like 5.
6, actually. I was 6 years old and was on a family holiday and went over to the States, went over to Connecticut to visit. We got relatives that live over there. I mean, I'd never met them before. Went to meet these relatives and it was actually it's my cousin's brother,
Connecticut.
but He's basically my uncle. You know, like we have a cousin that's like your
I've got that cousin.
second mum.
I've got a cousin who's like almost 40 who's my uncle growing up.
Anyway, my cousin's
I had a hairdresser that was an auntie, but there wasn't an auntie. It was just auntie.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Okay. One of them anyway. My cousin's
She was just a hairdresser.
She was amazing.
Doesn't even matter.
She's amazing. And her brother lives over there. He's British, moved over there, got married to an American lady and whatever, lives over there. And we met him for the first time. And I was like, oh, this is cool. He's got a lovely, strong accent. Beautiful. Well, did. He's sadly passed away now. But and I don't remember it completely vividly, but I'm sure it went something like this. We were in a bar. I was 6. Now, in America, they're a bit more strict on drinking underage.
Yeah.
Not that I was drinking, but
At 6.
being in a bar at 6 is probably not the most ideal thing to play. And he said, would you watch American football? And I had no idea what American football was. It looked like rugby to me.
It's just regular
And
football.
I didn't even know what rugby was.
That's what I'd have assumed.
I was like, this isn't football. Football, you play with a circular ball and you kick it. He's like, no, man, you don't do it like that. Because it sounds like that as well.
That's not a Boston accent. It's not. I'm fairly sure.
It was close. Quite close.
It's not bad. It was just the last few syllables.
Yeah. And he said, okay, well, you're a Pats fan now. I was like, okay, I'm a Pats fan. And that's how I became a Pats fan. But ever since then, I mean, I've followed them since '94 on and off. So kind of about when Drew Bledsoe decided to come into the Patriots and actually make the Patriots a good team. So technically, I suppose you could call me a glory hunter. Because that's when they started to get good. You know, they started to make playoffs. And before that, they were so bad.
There's not a fan in Patriots history that isn't a glory hunter. It might. That's because that's all I know.
I get quite a lot of stick saying, "Oh, you're just another Patriots fan," but in theory, I've actually got a bit of background behind my story, and it's the reason why I'm a Pats fan. And I literally worship them.
Everyone else is the problem.
Basically, yeah. They have. I mean, because they're such a successful team in modern football. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of people just jump on the bandwagon. They've got England in the name, so it's like, oh, you know,
they're good.
When in reality, it should be the opposite. You should fucking hate them. But yeah, that's my little background into why I'm a Pats fan.
I like how we've also had completely different origins into this.
Yeah.
What on the topic, obviously, of bandwagoning? Obviously, Seattle won, and you had all the bandwagoners join, and obviously the Patriots, now the Panthers. Out of curiosity, like if you're going to look at it from a British standpoint, what is the downside of that? Like, because if someone is new to football and doesn't have a team, and they just happen, and then they pick the one that wins the Super Bowl, I don't understand why that has such negative connotations. Whereas, okay, if I've never in my life known someone change a football team they support because they lost.
Oh, yeah.
So
not an American football team, but
oh yeah.
So my origin story actually like makes it like good for that point.
Okay, continue.
It's like I didn't get into American football until I started playing it. I'd always liked the idea of it, and then I was tattooing a mate of mine who actually turns out to be the youth team's head coach's nephew. But I went to high school with him.
Oh, you need to write that down because I got.
So,
Yeah, no, I just
one of those. Do you know my nephew's auntie's cousin's best friend's next door neighbour's shopkeeper?
No, you know the youth
Chris.
team. The youth team.
Yeah.
And you got the head coach of the youth team,
Yeah,
or at least what was.
maybe.
I can say Stu.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. His nephew.
Okay.
I went to school with him. I tattooed him, and he was like, we were just talking, and he said, "Oh, I've got American football training." And I was like, "Holy shit!" Like, because I've always been interested in it. I was just like, had no clue that anything ever happened over here. It's a complete exotic thing to me. Mm-hmm. And he was like, "Come to training with me on Sunday." And I was like, "Sweet, yeah, I'll do it." Like, went to the training. Just happened to be one of the grueling Leon ran fitness sessions, like where you just literally like ran up and down the field all session, then like did squats for 5 minutes. Or like held a squat like in the field, like just sat there like this, or planked in the middle of this wet field or whatever. Did that for an entire 2 hour training session.
Why did you come to the next one?
Exactly. I have no idea, but like, which is what's even more weird about the next part. I went to the next session, and I was going to pick up this friend from school, and I was on my way to his house in my car, and he texted me going, "Oh, I'm not coming today." So I was like, normal me would have been like, oh, okay, I won't go then. And I'll go home because I don't know anybody.
Fair.
I'm going to go home. But no, like for some reason, I just went anyway.
And then you met me.
And then I met him.
And then we fell in love. And that's why he's an Eagles fan.
This happened.
And then
all of this happened.
But then, obviously, the second training session was much better. Like I got to like be a running back, start as a running back, and I started to learn all these things. And everything was fucking bombarded on me because I had no clue. Never watched it. Never played Madden. Nothing like this. Like it just completely drowned me. But I picked it up fairly quickly, and there's not much to know being a running back.
You go get
Here's the ball, run.
Score!
He learned that from all the Russian coaches that we had.
You just got the running part wrong,
Dimitri
didn't you?
and Boris.
But then, turns out I got home from that training session, and I was living with my girlfriend's parents at the time, and Ali's brother had Madden. I think it was...
Okay.
How many years ago was it now? 4 years? 4 years ago?
About that.
So, yeah.
So it was Madden 2012, maybe?
Yeah. I think so, Madden
I
12.
think that's the one he had.
11, 12.
I don't remember 11, so it might have been 12 that he had.
I'm trying to remember who's on the front of that one.
And so I tried to learn the rules playing Madden, and between games or in timeouts and stuff, I had Wikipedia, like learning the very basic fundamental rules of American football. Like it changes so much on Wikipedia, like the way they describe like a dime defense and like the 3-4-4 whatever. Like it's so different.
Better 46.
Yeah, it's like
No.
nobody uses that except for this small high school team in Oklahoma. But like, yeah, learning the basic thing, and then I was like, oh shit, I've got to get a team. So I looked at the standings from the year before that, and I didn't want somebody at the top. And then I was thinking like being a tattooer as well, like Eagles, Panthers, leopards, tigers, whatever, anything like that.
Bengals.
Not the Bengals, no. Not the
Not the Bengals.
I'm so happy you didn't be the Bengals.
But like I did a proper extensive research into what I like, but because there was no standing behind it, so it was just like sweet Eagle, Panther, whatever. I think it came down to Eagles and Panthers in the end because I'm pretty sure I didn't like the Bengals uniform.
Good.
And you don't like the colour teal. So you went with dark midnight green.
No,
Jags was never a choice.
I actually hated the logo of the Panthers because, like, to me, a panther should look like
A panther.
an Ed Hardy panther. You know what I mean? Like, it should look like a tattoo of a
Hashtag
panther.
traditional tattoo.
Yeah, hashtag traditional tattoo.
Hashtag girls with ink.
Buy shirts. Buy his shirts. Buy shirts.
Let him stick needles in you.
But then the Eagles logo is pretty sick. Like,
I've always stood by the fact that Eagles are probably the best dressed in the NFL, I think, in terms of
Behave.
they are
logos and colour
definitely
schemes.
best dressed. Sick. It's like it's got
Look
a
at that.
traditional touch to it.
black midnight green.
That's okay. That.
No, I'm into both.
I'd choose a
White one as
Patriots
well.
jersey over that.
Smart as fuck.
I think midnight green is just a good colour.
Midnight green.
Coming from the Bears fan, where the Bears jerseys are boring as fuck.
I like the traditional look though.
All we have is
I like the white
Striped
jersey
arms.
again.
the white jerseys
I like
are real
the white
nice,
jersey.
but I'd want like the logo on the sleeve, not GSH.
Yeah, I know, but I like the meaning behind that as well.
I know the meaning behind it, but still,
Yep.
I want a nice looking jersey.
But that was basically it, and it turned out like that the Eagles were second bottom on the table that year. And I was like, just me.
Sold.
Yeah, like fucking dirty grebe. Like I have to be different.
Oh, it's the British way as well. Underdog story, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So,
You're so British.
yeah. So I was like, oh, that's perfect. I can't remember who was underneath us that year.
Probably Jacksonville.
Could you imagine England
What
if
in
they,
NFCs?
Could you imagine London's reaction if obviously they're talking about bringing a team out here? If they gave us a successful team, it's like, how dare you give us someone back? We can't cheer these on; they'll win.
I've figured out the solution. London doesn't need a team. But what are they up to? 3 games now? Just make it 8. I don't care who they are. We get 8 games. It's practically like having a home game. We get the same amount of games as anyone else. Bingo, bango.
Coming back to just briefly,
That's a
on,
bingo.
uniforms. The team, college team that I follow quite,
Oregon Ducks.
Oregon Ducks, purely because they are the best dressed team. Full stop.
I just
Yes, no, yes.
I like their white and silver kit.
They have a new kit pretty much every game.
I know, and that's sick. That's so sick.
White and silver.
My college team is Oklahoma Sooners, and they have a red jersey a white jersey, and that's how they play. They're so traditional, and how old school, and they are determined to stay that way.
How about
It's so sick.
How about them Huskies though?
Is that just because they're called Huskies?
I've
No, it's
never
because
seen
they're in
a black
Connecticut. Yeah, Yukon Huskies. Amazing at basketball. Shit at football. Although they did have that DB in the combine that jumped for like a mile.
It's a shame they couldn't find him after.
Yeah. Did you not see it? Like
No, I
he
didn't
jumped.
see that.
Like,
Didn't he set the record?
He set the record for the longest jump,
remember it.
and then that's it.
All he ever did.
His broad jump was like over 12 foot.
It was stupid.
Fucking hell.
You can jump to if you lying down.
Yeah.
Oregon have a new kit every week because that is where Nike is in Oregon.
Oh, right.
And so they have that deal, and that's why you were the first team to have it redesigned because that's also Seattle. It's that
area.
that thing. Oh,
I like the Browns' new uniform.
What? Said no one ever.
I really like
It's just brown.
it. Yeah, well,
It's
They don't
brown
even have fans.
It's brown and then a bit more brown.
I think it looks nice, man.
I can't say I've seen it. I don't think.
I do like. I hate the Tampa Bay uniform.
I like the helmet.
I like the new
The
flag
helmet's
on the
better.
helmet.
The helmet's
Yeah.
better, but the jersey's fucked. It's like I have a digital clock.
Yeah.
Do you know what I actually hate? The uniform they use for the Thursday night games. Do you know that one that was
the flash of colour?
that was ketchup versus mustard?
Oh, the colour rush.
Colour rush.
Colour rush games.
There
That
was
sick.
so many complaints because colourblind people were watching it, and then they're seeing shades of grey. But because there's no pattern of difference whatsoever between the jerseys, just colour, all they see is like 22 grey people running around the field. They don't know who's who, and then loads of people
Was it
complaining.
when I was at work at my old job? My old boss is colourblind, and he said he was watching a uni game because he's got a relative in America. Oh, college game, sorry. He's got a relative in America whose son played for Michigan State or something. So he was watching a Michigan State game and they were playing against Oklahoma or Alabama or the Razorbacks or something like that. And I said, "Oh, who won?" And he went in the grey one, and I was like, "Actually, yeah, the red and green. That was the entire game. It was just the red team versus the green team. The grey one."
Got a lady at work. Her daughter moved over to the States to teach English, I think, and she's got with a guy over there who plays for Appalachian State, I think it is.
Mhm.
Defensive back there.
Sounds like a real team.
Yeah, it's
Great.
There's
It sounds legit.
There's that many.
He looks hench. Anyway, he looks massive.
College teams is a story for another day.
Yes.
I think this one's
Yeah,
when it's.
I was just bringing up the uniform
Yeah.
because the Eagles do look smart.
No, we did. Look
Eagles
sick
look
as fuck.
sick.
That's all we've got, and we're going to.
We
Purely
look
because midnight green is one of my favourite colour.
It's
Full
pretty
stop.
sick. Yeah.
As long as we beat the Cowboys, we're happy, and we look good doing it. So
It makes you wonder why I was an Eagles fan, but
we are. Yeah.
Sticks to my roots.
The reason we're both Oregon fans, as a real quick, is because we didn't want to support different teams anymore. We wanted to celebrate at the same time.
because that one year the Eagles pretty much ran the Bears into the ground.
Oh yeah, that was
47-0.
It's 50 something because I remember.
50 nothing.
I remember asking Siri any time. I was like,
that was a fun afternoon in our household.
"Oh,
Let
I bet."
me tell
yeah,
you.
I bet.
At the end of the game,
She was
you
close
stand
enough
there
crying.
without your
I bet you still
jersey on,
stepped
and
in
I was
the
like,
ring.
yes! And you went, well, that change.